answers. Listen carefully.
You can't really be against hydrofracking and say you're an environmentalist because immediately the default options are fuels that are much less clean.
For the next hour, Shawn Wilson explores the energy industry with news and interviews from around the corner and around the globe.
Nuclear is one of the directions that we should innovate in.
The Exploring Energy Show begins now.
And a very, very good Wednesday morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. Shawn Wilson, Exploring Energy, thank you for being a part of this broadcast. We appreciate you immensely. Elk City Meals on Wheels, 1510 West 9th Street, and call in your order, 225-5821. Dining room hours open 11 to 1, Monday through Friday. Regular meals, $8. Senior citizens meals, just $7. Everyone is welcome today. Barbecued smoked sausage, macaroni and cheese, mixed veggies, and blackberry cobbler. So barbecued smoked sausage, macaroni and cheese, mixed veggies, and blackberry cobblers. What's on the menu at Elk City Meals on Wheels. Carnegie Library, they'll still bring free books to you. Here's the number, 225-0136. Have trouble reading regular print? Well, ask them about their free program that can help. It's the Carnegie Caravan, brought to you by the Friends of the City Carnegie Library, bringing the library right to you. That number again, 225-0136. And between now and the 12th of November, Sutty Strong, helping little Sutton Hunt. They're in Hammond. If you'd like to buy a raffle ticket or just make a donation, either one, they would appreciate it. This little 3-year-old girl stricken with leukemia. Her and her family need your help. It's a raffle. I mean, the first place wins $5,000 cash. Second place wins $3,000 cash. Third place wins $2,000 cash. It's $100 for an entry. You need to do it between now and the 12th of November. Anybody with the Hammond All Sports can help you out. But here is Lynn Walker's phone number. If you want to just make a donation or buy a ticket or whatever you want to do, 580-660-0210. 660-0210. And I've heard from the family, and they are very appreciative of those that have helped and hopeful for those that will help. So be Sutty Strong. Well, Sutton Hunt. Okay, here we go. Right to it here. Energy stock prices are down. West Texas Intermediate on the New York Mercantile Exchange down 35 cents to $60.21 a barrel. It's a December contract out of the New York Merc. Brent crude oil in the ICE Futures Exchange out of London, the global benchmark trading down 31 cents to $64.13, just shy of $65. Tocom crude oil in Japan out of Tokyo down 1,830 yen per kiloliter. Now, New York Mercantile Exchange natural gas is down 7 cents, but still trading at $4.27 per million BTU. That's a very good price for natural gas there, folks. That's a December contract as well. Our Bob gasoline down $1.37 to $1.90.91. Heating oil on the New York Mercantile Exchange is up $1.22 to $245.68. And also in the green, gas oil on the New York Mercantile Exchange November contract is up $15.25, trading at $738.75 per metric ton. So some of those are a little different. AEP, they filed that Oklahoma request for that $260 million transmission rebuild. We've been talking a little bit about this. Anyway, the American Electric Power recently started the formal request process seeking the Oklahoma Corporation Commission's approval of its proposed $260 million project to improve an electric transmission line from Lawton to west of Ardmore in southern Oklahoma. Additionally, Oklahoma energy infrastructure expansion remains a core grid modernization focus statewide. At the same time, the company revealed 16 other transmission line projects to be funded by their $1.6 billion Energy Department loan guarantee. Also, federal loan support accelerates long-haul transmission investment velocity. Corporation Commission filing the details. This application is requesting approval to rebuild that transmission line and accompanying facilities to improve the reliability of service and the safety of the transmission line. The transmission line runs from the substations of Lawton's east side to Sunnyside, stated AEP, and is filing with the Corporation Commission, Sunnyside down by Ardmore. Therefore, reliability performance remains central to long-term development justification. As we report on this show, and as OK Energy Today reported, The project will cover current transmission lines across Carter, Comanche, and Stevens counties. As the filing stated, it's not directly connected to specific energy resource. Finally, multi-county design scope expands South Oklahoma grid network interconnection feasibility. So it says 345 kV rebuild requirement. Okay. The company explained the existing 345 kilovolt transmission. That line needs to be rebuilt in order to address its condition and outage frequency. The rebuilt line will improve reliability, support increased load growth, and meet current engineering standards. This will involve rebuilding approximately 70 miles of the existing 345 kV transmission line. Also, aging high-voltage infrastructure continues to drive long-cycle capital allocation decisions. So, it's AEP is asking for help in getting this transmission line. Now, see, I don't have any trouble with utility companies needing help, or asking for a rate increase to get existing lines that are taking care of existing customers. Like I said, my biggest drawback is these high load new customers coming online, and everybody should have to brunt that cost to get electricity to that facility. I just have a reservation about that. Maybe I'm wrong in that attitude, but it's just like, hey, if anybody else was trying to do business, they would have to get their business up and going. Anyway, we'll wait and see. That official electric co-op stay away from the data centers. Okay. Now that the rise of AI, artificial intelligence, and its driving need for more data center capacity is turning to the electricity supply situation upside down across the United States. A former member of the Colorado Public Utilities Commission warned rural electric co-ops should stay away from making contracts to supply power to AI and data centers. In an opinion piece recently published by Big Pivots, John Gavin wrote this: electric co-ops need to be more vigilant than ever about getting lured into high-risk electric supply contracts with these entities. He advised co-ops avoiding high-risk entanglements with volatile tech industry players is the smartest test course of business. Okay? So co-op members say no to data centers is what this guy's saying. Since the 1930s, America's rural electric co-ops have provided reliable and affordable power to places that investor-owned utilities would never serve. The co-op model of member ownership has served rural Americans very well. Now the rise of AI and its driving need for more data center capacity is turning the electricity supply situation upside down across the United States. This issue's been mostly regulated to cities so far, but now as they run out of power, a move to rural areas by tech industry is afoot. Traditionally, electric co-ops have operated as very fiscally conservative organizations, and this is why we've seen very few go belly up. In Colorado, their local Colorado Ute Co-op was an exception back in the 1990s. Local board governance and relentless focus on the best interest of co-op members has generally kept electric co-ops very financially strong, with electric rates lower and more stable than those of investor-owned utilities. Now, as the tech industry data center develops into overdrive to secure more processing capacity, electric co-ops need to be more vigilant than ever about getting lured into these high-risk electric supply contracts. Supplying data centers, which can consume as much electricity and water as a medium-sized city. Did you hear that? Consume as much electricity and water as a medium-sized city, can demand massive expansion of a utility's generation and transmission resources. This could amount to hundreds of millions of dollars of new capital expenditure by the co-op. To complicate matters, many financial experts are vocally urging caution as the AI data center business has all the earmarks of a massive bubble. If it pops, it could make the dot-com meltdown of the early 2000s look like a minor blip. Such an event could leave a co-op holding the proverbial financial bag as the data center clients fade away. So this is the time for electric co-ops, again, to be very fiscally conservative and to always put the interest of their current members first. Avoiding high-risk entanglements with volatile tech industry players is the smartest course of business. So as he says again, co-op members say no to data centers. Of course, here in Oklahoma, we have the behind-the-meter deal. This is another horse of a different color, if you will. These data centers, if they can afford to build their own electric supply for their data center, hey, get you some. It's going to be probably powered by natural gas, which helps our local industry. But it also doesn't suck out of the pockets of those that are living around that data center. And if they go belly up, then they go belly up. I mean, it's nobody's sitting there holding the bag, as this writer had talked about. I really found it interesting when I read this article yesterday that, that they would tell these electric co-ops to stay away from it. I'm glad they did. I think it's smart. But for him to go on and say that, it's like a big bubble, and if it pops, yikes, then you've spent millions of dollars to try to get electricity to a place that closes the doors. But now that behind the meter deal, if they get their own electric generation system, then get you some. I'm all about it. We'll take a break, be back with Remember When Wednesdays. We go back in time with the American Oil and Gas Historical Society, AOGHS.org. I'll Remember When Wednesday right after this.
Stay informed with the latest news from the energy industry on the Exploring Energy Show.
Hi, it's Andy Taylor. We're living in some very turbulent times. It's easy to get discouraged in the normal course of life, but the good news is God has all the answers. His presence and companionship always makes all the difference. A big part of what we do at Trinity Fellowship is to help people in the process of coming into relationship with the Father. We'd love to help you. Our services start at 10 a.m. on Sunday. You can find us on our Trinity Fellowship Facebook page, or you can listen right here on KECO at 9:30. We'd love to have you be part of our family.
Do farmers and ranchers need different kinds of tires?
Yes, they do. The farmers and ranchers, generally need a heavy ply tire because they're always pulling a trailer, got hay bales, have equipment. They generally have a lot of tires on the ground. Trailers and trucks and equipment.
Is the lifespan of their tires different from a regular passenger?
Correct. Yes, they are. They generally are a little bit less just because they are abused more than an average customer. They need a good set of tires because if they're down for a day, they're in trouble. It is costing them money. They should go to L&R Tire. We have them in stock and we know what they need.
Why have they used you through the years?
Good service. Like I said, we always generally have the tires in stock and we treat them with respect. L&R Tire, 1204 South Main, Elk City, Oklahoma, the home of Bridgestone Firestone tires. At L&R Tire, we'll take good care of your vehicle.
Millions of dollars in equipment, plus the best concessions you'll find anywhere mean one thing. Your kids and grandkids are going to have a ball at the carnival on the west side of Elk City. Games for all ages with lots of prizes. Fun rides for the little ones. Thrilling rides for the bigger kids. Save big and keep riding with unlimited ride wristbands. Thursday from 6 to 10 p.m., just $30. Friday night, 5 till 11, $35. And it's Kids Day Saturday from noon till 4, only $25. Then Saturday evening, 5 to 11, wristbands are $35. And Sunday afternoon, only $25. Concessions are so good, some people come just to eat. Gourmet funnel cakes with homemade whipped cream and fresh strawberries, caramel apples, slow-roasted turkey legs, cotton candy, fresh squeezed lemonade and cherry limeade, and hand-dipped corn dogs. Your kids and grandkids will make some great memories at the carnival, Thursday through Sunday near the Fiveplex on the west side of Elk City.
Hey folks, this is EJ Gredeman with ASCO Equipment out of Elk City, Oklahoma. If you need rental equipment, I got your back. From excavators to wheel loaders, telehandlers, and forklifts, we rent the brands that you know and trust. With flexible terms, responsible service, and expert support, we're here to keep your job on track. Need equipment? We're on it here at ASCO Equipment. Visit ASCOEQ.com or stop by our Elk City branch, 513 West 20th here in Elk City, Oklahoma, or you can just give me a call, 580-243-9233. Appreciate it, folks, and y'all have a blessed day.
Fine Line wants your car, and they're going to pay you for it. Top dollar. Call Steve Jones at Fine Line, 225-9111, 225-9111. Make some money.
And we're back once again. Thanks again to some of our great sponsors help make this broadcast possible. Of course, American Hose and Supply. They're one. What if before you needed them, you called American Hose and Supply? What if before your hoses failed, you had some on hand? Put them right back on, get yourself up and going. How much easier would that make it? Lots easier is the answer here. American Hose and Supply inside the Camrock building next to Fred's Steakhouse. They'll do whatever it takes to get you up and going. Supply you ahead of time, supply you at that time, whichever way. Call 303-1123, 303-1123. Go to those who know hose. And David Allen Guest, a certified mineral manager, great guy, smart. He'll get you the most out of your royalties. A lot of people think that stuff's just cut and dry. It's not. He is an investment, not an expense. If you have this guy working for you, you're going to be glad you're doing business with him because he gets your return on your investment and takes that burden of you having to stay up with that all the time. David Allen Guest, certified mineral manager. Maybe you're about ready to turn your minerals over to somebody else in your family. This is a guy that can help them navigate through every aspect of it. Will not drop the ball. And if you find yourself in a situation to sell, David's a trusted buyer of royalties from estates, probates, trusts, bankruptcies. You don't want anybody to take advantage of you there. Call him today, 405-341-8698. 405-341-8698. David Allen Guest, certified mineral manager. And Camrock Supply right next to Fred's Steakhouse. After a busy spring and summer, you're ready to put that equipment up, that tractor up. Before you do it, do the maintenance so it'll work just like you need it next spring. The work now, the payback later. Get everything you need for tractor and motor maintenance at Camrock Supply. Next to Fred's Steakhouse in Elk City. CamRockSupply.com. CamRockSupply.com. 3 local guys with local ties just doing business with their community. All right, I'm going to click this little baby right here, and we're going to go back in time with the American Oil and Gas Historical Society, AOGHS.org. Get right at it here. November 3rd, 1878. Natural gas is king in Pittsburgh. While drilling for oil in 1878, a well drilled by Michael and Obadiah Haymaker erupted with natural gas from a depth of almost 1,400 feet. Every piece of rigging went sky high, whirling around like so much paper caught in a gust of wind. But instead of oil, we had struck gas, said Michael Haymaker. 18 miles east of Pittsburgh, the out-of-control well in Murraysville, Pennsylvania, produced an estimated 34 million cubic feet of natural gas a day. It was considered the largest natural gas well ever drilled up until that time. Given the oilfield technologies of the late 1880s, there was no way to cap the well and no pipeline to exploit commercial possibilities. The Haymaker well drew thousands of curious onlookers to a flaming torch that burned for 18 months, year and a half, and was visible miles away. Outlet of a natural gas well near Pittsburgh, a sight that can be seen in no other city in the world, noted Harper's Weekly. When finally brought under control, the Haymaker well provided inexpensive gas light to Pittsburgh for many, many years. Learn more about that. Natural gas is king in Pittsburgh. November 3rd, 1900. A first. New York City hosts the first U.S. Auto Show. America's first gathering of the latest automotive technologies attracted thousands to New York City's Madison Square Garden. Manufacturers presented 160 different vehicles and conducted driving and maneuverability demonstrations on a 20-foot wide wooden track that encircled the exhibits. Almost 50,000 visitors paid 50 cents each to witness autos driving up a 200-foot ramp to test hill climbing power. The most popular models proved to be electric, steam, and gasoline, and in that order. New Yorkers welcomed the new models as a way to reduce the 450,000 tons of horse manure, 21 million gallons of urine, and 15,000 horse carcasses that had to be removed from the city streets every year. Changed the course of the world right there. Of the 4,200 automobiles sold in 1900, less than 1,000 were powered by gasoline. But within 5 years, consumer preference established the dominance of gasoline-powered autos, leading to the first celebrated gas pumps and service stations. You can learn more about that in Cantankerous Combustions, the first U.S. auto show. November 6th, 1860, going way back there. First multi-still oil refinery started in Pennsylvania. As the Civil War neared, construction began on America's first multiple still oil refinery. William Barnsdall, who completed the oil well soon after the first U.S. oil well of August of 1859, spent $15,000 to build 6 stills for refining kerosene 1 mile south of Titusville, Pennsylvania. Barnsdall and his partners, W.H. Abbott and James Parker, purchased equipment in Pittsburgh and shipped it up the Allegheny River to Oil City and then to Oil Creek oil fields. With the refinery's construction on the creek's north bank finished in January of 1861, the facility produced 2 grades of kerosene for lamps, white and the less expensive yellow. Each barrel of the oil yielded about 20 gallons of kerosene. The white didn't put off as much soot as the yellow, but it was more expensive because of that. November 6, 1991, ceremony marks end of the Kuwaiti oil field fires. Sheikh Jabir Ahmed Sabah, Emir of Kuwait, used a remotely controlled valve to extinguish a well fire in the Bergen oil field. I read it earlier for the and relit it earlier for the ceremony. The event symbolized the conclusion of a $1 billion firefighting effort that capped the fires in just 8 months, confounding initial predictions that Kuwait's oil fields would burn for years, according to the Washington Post. With a flick of a switch that reduced a geyser of flame to a plume of smoke, Kuwaiti's ruler today capped the last of about 650 oil well fires that had been set by retreating troops of Iraqi leader Saddam Hussein. If you remember, we had a lot of Oklahoma guys over there. Cud, they were over there putting those oil well fires out. In fact, Bobby Joe and his crew were the last to stay because they were the most efficient. 650 oil well fires. What an undertaking. November 7th, 1965. Kerosene jet fuel powers the speed record. Using high-octane jet fuel, Ohio drag racer Art Arfins set the world land speed record at 573.553 miles per hour at Utah's Bonneville Salt Flats. His homemade green monster was powered by JP4 jet fuel and a 50-50 kerosene-gasoline blend and an afterburner-equipped F-104 Starfighter jet engine. Hafford set the world record 3 times in the 1960s in what became known as the Bonneville Jet Wars, as Californian Craig Breedlove's jet engine-powered Spirit of America exceeded 600 miles per hour on November 15th, 1965. Of course, that rocket car powered by liquefied natural gas set the world speed record at more than 630 miles per hour in 1970. It was the Blue Flame. You can learn more about that in that sub-story. Near the bottom of the hour, I'm going to take a break and come back. Our feature story and the rest of Remember When Wednesday right here on 96.5 KECO's Exploring Energy Radio Show. Stick around, won't you?
The Exploring Energy Show.
Driving down 3rd Street in Elk City, you've seen all the beautiful work on the outside. Now it's time to see what they've done inside their new location. Grandview Pharmacy and Gifts has moved down the road right on time for the holidays. Take a look Friday and Saturday, November 14th and 15th, during their Christmas open house. Enjoy their famous wassail and other refreshments while you shop. In fact, Surf Bar will be there too. When you check out, you'll draw from a deck of cards for your discount. 20%, 30%, or 40% off. Sign up to win the big prizes. They always do big prizes at the Christmas open house. Take advantage of the hat bar. Etched cowgirl hats. Get started on your Christmas shopping. Grab the stocking stuffers. Freshen up your Christmas decor. Grandview Pharmacy and Gifts Christmas Open House. Friday and Saturday, November 14th and 15th at their brand new location.
Grandview Pharmacy and Gifts, now located at 1503 West 3rd Street in Elk City.
One of the computers here at the station was crashing, about to lose everything on it, and we didn't even know it. But Dennis knew because he was watching, and he warned us in time.
Hey Gabe, it's Dennis. Our system detected that one of your computers has a hard drive that's about to fail.
Which one?
It's Nathan's.
So what do I need to do?
Well, we probably need to get it in the shop and get the drive cloned to a new machine before he loses any data off of it.
Do you have another computer in stock that we can just get it fixed real quick?
Sure, we've got some in stock. Just need to get it in, get it cloned over, and be good to go.
Okay, thanks a lot, Dennis.
You bet, sounds good. See you.
ITL monitors our computers at Paragon Communications remotely, so Dennis Teal knows there's a problem before we even know it. He helped us save years' worth of valuable files. ITL's remote monitoring comes in very handy here at work. That kind of security system for your computers can keep your business running so you can keep making a living.
So if your farmer need a hose built, you can come in, we'll build it. Oilfield customer and need us to come out and see you, we'll come out and see you and take an order or pick up a hose, build it, bring it back to you. Solves that problem. I'm Brock Kalk, and my company is American Hose and Supply. We sell all types of industrial hose and fittings, oilfield or agriculture. You needed a hose like yesterday. We will stop what we're doing, and if we got to go to our Oklahoma City shop and get it, we'll do that. And I've done that for a lot of my customers. The business I've done with the oilfield, they got to see your face. Whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever the customer prefers, that's what we're going to do. We sell all types of industrial hose and fittings. In the oil field, sometimes you get a call for a crazy, hey, can you get this? And you go find it for them. American Hose and Supply. Come by and see us at 2111 South Main, Elk City, Oklahoma, in Camrock Building next to Fred's.
Or call 303-1123.
Solves that problem.
Can I ask you a basic, somewhat obvious question? Energy, agriculture, gas, oil, beef. Is it possible to talk about one without talking about the other?
Not standing over a gas-operated flat top, I suppose, next to a bunch of gas-operated fryers.
Gas, and more gas. I live in California.
Yeah.
Maybe you've read. Somebody somewhere has waged a war on gas stoves.
I've heard that. I've heard that.
Thoughts?
In a nutshell, I prefer to cook on gas stoves.
There it is. It's official.
See their stories at oerb.com/micro.
For over 100 years, Farm Credit of Oklahoma has proudly served our area's farmers and ranchers. So when it comes to ag lending, don't fret it. Call Farm Credit. You'll never regret it.
Stay informed with the latest news from the energy industry on the Exploring Energy Show.
Okay, now you can hear me, Blake. Nice. No, I didn't. I did not. So we're going to go right back on it right here, right now. I guess that's why I got these new hearing aids, and it sounded like I was on air to myself, but I just guess I wasn't. Thanks, Blake. Blake Brewer, there's my faithful listener. Love you, man. Okay. November 8th, 1880, we're going to go right back at it. Death of the father of the U.S. petroleum industry. Edwin Laurentine Drake, the former railroad conductor who drilled the first U.S. oil well, died in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania at the age of 61. Drake's 1859 oil discovery had brought prosperity to many, but he lost all of his money in speculative ventures. Becoming so destitute, the Pennsylvania legislature voted him a $1,500 pension in 1873. A 1901 monument dedicated to Titusville Woodlawn Cemetery was the overdue recognition of the man who launched the U.S. oil industry. You can see more in Edwin Drake and his oil well. They have a really nice memorial to Edwin Drake. And it was actually even refurbished in 2009. So it's a great tribute to a guy who brought this industry to light. November 8, 1928, oil discovery at Hobbs, New Mexico. A giant oil field was revealed in a remote region of the Lee County in the southeast corner of New Mexico. Midwest Refining Company discovered what would become the Permian Basin's Hobbs oil field, while searching for a northern trend of the Scarborough field, which had launched in 1927 drilling boom in nearby Winkler County, Texas. After finding signs of oil in June, the exploratory well was completed at a depth of 4,065 feet. Midwest State's #1 discovery well of the future Hobbs oil pool was completed, producing 700 barrels of oil per day on state land, noted Gil Henshaw in his 1976 book, Lee County, The Last Frontier. By January 1930, a well drilled by Humble Oil Company, later becoming Exxon, 3 miles northwest of Hobbs, would produce 9,500 barrels of oil a day. New Mexico's first commercial oil well was completed on the Navajo Indian Reservation in 1922 by Midwest Refining, which would become Amoco, acquired by BP in 1998. Our final story today, November 9th, 1978. President Jimmy Carter signs the National Energy Act. As a result of the 1973 energy crisis, President Jimmy Carter signed into law the National Energy Act to cut oil imports and reduce energy demand. The 95th Congress legislation included the National Energy Conservation Policy Act, which mandated energy conservation in homes, schools, and public buildings. It also included a Power Plant and Industrial Fuel Use Act, the Public Utilities Regulatory Policy Act, and the Energy Tax Act, and the Natural Gas Policy Act, temporarily authorizing the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, FERC, to set price ceilings. They were able to set price ceilings on oil and natural gas. It doesn't go on to say in the story, but they found out that just really didn't work. So they came way off of that and just let the market dictate the price. So anyway, American Oil and Gas Historical Society, AOGHS.org. It's a wonderful website. It's just chock full of information, graphs, pictures, sub-stories, talking about people you would never think would be anywhere close to being affiliated with the oil and gas industry, and they were major players. So if you get a chance to go in there and navigate, you can sign up for their free newsletter they send out each month. It tells you what's going on. Doesn't done you for money. Now, I'll ask you to help support the American Oil and Gas Historical Society. Click that blue support button at the top and just give them a few dollars. $15, $20, $25 goes a long way. And these guys put a lot of their own money in this site. They're not getting rich doing it. But I tell you, they will vet every story before it goes on this site. They do not want to put misinformation, if you will, on this on their site. So AOGHS.org. We appreciate them helping bring Remember When Wednesday right to you. And again, the that beautiful monument that I had up on the screen here for our Facebook watchers. The death of Edwin Laurentine Drake. Seems funny that, or not funny like a clown, but odd that he would have all those speculative ventures and become so destitute that the legislature voted to give him a stipend. But that shows you just how important the oil and gas industry was to not only Pennsylvania, but to the rest of the world as well. And it continues on, no doubt about it. Sorry about that microphone slip up, man. Even some of us professionals, I say that term very loosely, do falter occasionally. And I knew Blake was trying to get a hold of me hard. He finally got a hold of Skinny. He says, tell Wilson to turn his mic on. Okay, man, I got it. Again, appreciate the American Oil and Gas Historical Society, Bruce and Chris Wells. Well, the DEQ board to hold a meeting in Tahlequah. The Oklahoma Department of Environmental Quality, their board sets public access forum. So the members of the Oklahoma Department of Environmental Quality, the DEQ Environmental Quality Board, encourage residents of eastern Oklahoma to attend a public forum scheduled for Thursday, November 6th. That public forum will be held following the regular business meeting of the board. However, there's no way to estimate how long the business meeting will last. The board welcomes input from those concerned about Oklahoma's environment and the regulations governing their protection. Meanwhile, this direct public access structure reinforces regulatory transparency. I don't know if you remember, but when the DEQ and when Obama was in office and the particulate deal, and then they started allowing one state to sue another state because the south wind was bringing particulates from Texas into Oklahoma, and Oklahoma could be sued by Missouri because particulates from Oklahoma was going into Missouri and Kansas. It was a very, very sticky situation. I'm glad they finally got that business ironed out, because that was, I can remember just reporting on that going, what in the world? But the particulates, the parts per million in the atmosphere, and that's what they were trying to do. But they were, saying that neighboring states had to brunt the cost of that, which I thought was a little. How do you enforce that deal? Do you catch it at the state line and then say this is what you did? Anyway, you did that deal about the co-op staying away from the data centers. I don't know if you've just joined the show or not, but I think that is some really wise, just thought process for these co-ops. Because, these co-ops have, for years, put electricity where nobody else wanted to go. The rural electric. And it's not easy. It's not easy keeping all the trees trimmed back. It's not easy keeping all the power on. But it is one of those deals to where you need these utility companies, and you need that electricity. So we're really glad to have what we have around here. We've got some wonderful co-ops in our listening area that do a fine job. But I hope they heed the warning that these AI data centers, they're volatile. That being said, I'm going to take another break, come back, put my microphone back on, and then we'll have the mop-up segment of the Wednesday edition of the Exploring Energy Radio Show in a moment.
Stay informed with the latest news from the energy industry on the Exploring Energy Show.
You know why people like going out to eat? It's a little treat for them. They get to leave the house and go somewhere else and have somebody else cook the food and serve it to them and clean up afterward. All you got to do is pay and leave.
I know a lady that makes it at Janice's Cafe. We go out there and eat all the time. You know why? It's not at home, and it's better than what we cook. One of my favorite things to eat at Janice's Cafe, the catfish. It's good. It's got the crispy breading. Oh, it's like they made it with love, with a little bit more love on top of it.
Bacon cheeseburger.
Best bacon cheeseburger in the business. Name another one.
Mushroom and Swiss.
Best mushroom burger there is ever. Janice's Cafe can make all those burgers for. Of course, they got burgers. They got the best burgers you can have.
Do you think more people drink sweet tea or unsweet tea?
Well, you know what I am.
Half and half.
Half sweet, half unsweet. Janice is located on the south side of Elk City, where you go into the movie theater, right there next to Arby's. You'll be able to find it because there's a big old sign up there that says Janice's Cafe.
Looking for the perfect venue for your next event? Look no further than the Frisco Center, located in the heart of western Oklahoma. Whether it's a stunning wedding, a joyful reception, a memorable birthday party, or a professional seminar, we've got you covered. With spacious rooms and exceptional service, Frisco Center is designed to make your special occasion unforgettable. Located at 101 South 4th Street in Clinton, Oklahoma. Call us today at 580-323-7874 to book your date. The Frisco Center, where every event is a reason to celebrate.
So there's a company out there that has a certain color. All the farmers and stuff think their oil has to be used in those certain color of tractors, and it's just not true. So here at Camrock, we have the same specification oil as the other brand, where people think that they have to use that for a certain color on their tractors and stuff like that. But we have the same oil specifications as they do. Works just as well, does the same thing, lubes it just the same. Price comparison is it's not even a comparison. We have a better price than anybody around on that type of oil. I use it at our place. My son uses it for our colored tractors that we have, and a lot of other farmers use it too. It's the same oil, specifications are the same. It's kind of a myth where they think that it's got to be that certain type of oil for that color of tractor. Camrock is the name of the company. It's 2111 South Main, Elk City, south of Fred's Steakhouse. We have a better price than anybody around on that type of oil.
Craving a real steak? Fred's Steakhouse in Elk City is firing up flavor 7 days a week. The grill is always hot and the steaks are always fresh. From juicy char-grilled ribeyes, fillets, and sirloins to chicken fried steak, hearty burgers, seafood, and chicken, there's something for everyone. Don't forget the appetizers, salads, and desserts to top it off. Bring your appetite. We'll handle the rest. Dine in or order online now on the DoorDash app. It's more than just a steakhouse. It's Fred's.
Killoffer Flooring Center, right on the corner, right on the price. Corner of 6th and Main, downtown Elk City, Oklahoma.
This is the Exploring Energy Show.
And welcome back. Got a hot mic here. DCP Service is a diversified oil field company offering the right services with the right people on the job. Jeff and Terry Davis, we appreciate them. Toby and Carly, all of them with the Davis family. They've got a roustabout division, a lease operators division, a wireline division with both braided and slick line options. And they've got their DCP pump repair shop in Cordell. Their supply stores with pipe, valves, and fittings. They sold that part, but you can still find those here in this area with one source. Again, DCP Services. Call Jeff Davis, 580-660-0501. 580-660-0501. DCP Services. And this hour's weather forecast brought to you the service of Carter Electric in Elk City. My lovely assistant did show up this morning, and I appreciate that. But again, you want to make sure your power stays on regardless of the weather. Carter Electric is an authorized Generac generator dealer. They can size it, sell it to you, they can install it, and they can come back and service it. Kervin and Mary Orgain, the ones who help you see the light of day even at night, they own Carter Electric. And a lot of electric work goes on overhead, especially in the rural area. Carter Electric has pole trucks and man lifts go way up high if there's a problem up there. Licensed, insured, trusted. It's Carter Electric providing you this hour's weather forecast as a service. You can call them at 225-2447, 225-2447. Let me get this young lady over here on this. There you go. What do you got this morning, young lady?
Today we are sunny with a high near 70, north-northeast wind 14 to 23 miles per hour with gusts as high as 34. Tonight we're mostly clear with a low around 42, north-northeast wind 5 to 10 miles per hour, becoming light north after midnight. Thursday, sunny with a high near 76, light and variable wind becoming south-southwest 11 to 16 miles per hour in the morning. Winds could gust as high as 24. Friday, sunny with a high near 73, north wind 5 to 14 miles per hour with gusts as high as 21. Saturday, sunny with a high near 68. Sunday, sunny with a high near 54. Monday, sunny with a high near 57. And Veterans Day, sunny with a high near 69.
I appreciate you saying Veterans Day. That's a big day.
It is a big day.
Now, Memorial Day, that's when we honor those who gave their lives, you know.
Yeah.
And Veterans Day, those that disrupted their lives to serve our nation, whether they've served in the past or are currently serving. What a wonderful thing to be able to recognize them. I'm all about giving them a whole month too, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I'm married to one, so
Yeah,
I agree.
yes, you are. But no, it was a wonderful deal to, I just got a text from, one of our local co-op guys.
Yeah.
And he appreciated the story that I did about these AI data centers, just to kind of stay away from them. I mean, it looks really lucrative because you're thinking, oh man, we got a great big old, we got somebody here that is ready to buy a lot of electricity from us,
Right.
And so it's one of those deals to where you got to be real careful. And I appreciate that text. And I appreciate him listening into the show. And so anyhow, we are to that point of the show where it's energy news in my briefs. And I do have, all my buttons pushed right now, I guess. Pennsylvania's Republican Attorney General files charges against a fracking company he says contaminated drinking water in 8 counties. However, contamination enforcement fights frequently escalate in shale regions as regulatory scrutiny tightens around fracking contamination claims. Arizona Public Service proposes a new gas plant southwest of Phoenix with a first phase designed to meet growing power demand and a second phase dedicated to serving data centers via a subscription model. Additionally, the data center subscription model reflects a structural shift in capital allocation towards hyperscale load segments. An analysis predicts Northwest electricity demand may outstrip generating capacity by about 3,000 megawatts by 2030, potentially triggering rolling blackouts during extreme weather as soon as next year. Also, this dynamic raises reliability concerns similar to Oklahoma energy caution alerts when weather volatility narrows reserve margins. Advocates call on the Federal Bureau of Land Management, the BLM, to remove 20,000 acres of prime sage-grouse habitat in southwestern Wyoming from a proposed oil and gas lease sale, saying it violates the agency's land use plans. Therefore, the habitat challenge reflects conflicts between those who with lease access and environmental protections. Here's some from around the world. U.S. energy giant ExxonMobil will not be able to continue doing business in the European Union if the bloc does not significantly loosen a sustainability law that would penalize companies with fines of 5% of global revenue. Chief Executive Darren Woods said on Monday, additionally, the ExxonMobil EU law fight signals rising global compliance cost tension. And Chinese refiners are canceling Russian oil cargoes and adopting a wait-and-see attitude after the latest U.S. sanctions on Russian oil industry. Bloomberg reports citing traders that state-owned majors, including Sinopec and PetroChina, had canceled previously ordered Russian oil cargoes. Meanwhile, traders often recalibrate purchase windows when sanction scopes lacks clarity. And India is preparing to expand its rare earth magnets incentive program, which plans to nearly triple its size to more than, $768 million as the country seeks to boost domestic capacity in a sector currently dominated by China. Finally, rare earth expansion could reshuffle global material sources strategies inside the energy transition cycle. Rare earth minerals. You're going to be hearing more and more about that as we go forward. What do you got over there as far as the market? Yesterday, it was like one green, all red. Are you doing any better today?
Today, I've only got 2 red.
Nice.
'Cause I'm back.
Yeah, that's it. You brought it back. What do you got over there, TJ?
American Electric Power is up 47 cents, trading at $120.78. Apache is down 1 cent, trading at $22.08. Baker Hughes is up 68 cents at $46.65. ConocoPhillips is up 39 cents at $88.30. Devon Energy is up 8.5 cents at $32.63. EOG Resources is up 52 cents, trading at $105.79. Expand Energy is up 34 cents at $110.40. General Electric is up $3.02, trading at $307.66. Halliburton is up 18 cents at $27. Hallmark and Payne is up 33 cents at $26.44. Liberty Energy is up 37 cents at $17.37. Occidental Petroleum is up 12 cents at $40.21. OG&E Energy is down 19 cents at $44.11. One Oak is up 48 cents at $64.76. Phillips 66 is up $1.38 at $137.13. Sandridge Energy is up 8 cents at $11.96. Schlumberger is up 3 cents at $36.15, and Williams Companies is up 64 cents, trading at $57.15.
Nice. Well, on ParagonTV.com, Watonga is going to be at Merritt Friday night for their football game. That's going to be about a 6:40 pregame with Blake Brewer on the call and Travis Stout helping out. Again, Watonga comes to Merritt. That's Friday night on ParagonTV.com. Again, that is 7 p.m. kickoff, about 6:40 for the pregame, about 20 minutes before. Sponsored by the Bank of Western Oklahoma. And also Big Elk TV. Big Elk TV. Big Elk's in a must-win situation over Woodward if they have any chance of making the playoffs. So some implications here. Friday night, 7 o'clock. You can get the pregame about 6:20 on Friday night. BigElkTV.com. Small schools basketball. Go ahead.
I say good luck to both.
Yeah. Small schools basketball is here. ParagonTV.com is your home. Live local coverage. We've got expanded coverage with Paragon reporter Lexi Frazier bringing you stories, spotlights, updates. And we're talking about Canute, Hammond, Arapahoe, Butler, Cheyenne, Raiden, Leedy, Eric Merritt, and now Sentinel. That can all be on ParagonTV.com. Sign up today. Go to ParagonTV.com/join for just $9.99 a month. You can enjoy full access to all the archives, all the live videos where local schools, athletes, and fans come together. ParagonTV.com for an exciting basketball season. Have a great day.
This is KECO, Elk City.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm CJ Papa. Democratic Socialist Zohar Mamdani tapping into young voters on his way to a rousing victory in the mayor's race in New York City, and he was not a gracious winner.
This is not only how we stop Trump, it's how we stop the next one.
Fox's Peter Ducey.
President Trump does not see these off-year elections as a referendum on his administration